but you don't hit answer live. You probably remember from the video, you answer privately.
Right, heard.
All right. Well, we will get started on welcoming, so that way, even as people continue to come in, they'll get that information. So, welcome everyone to the virtual college exploration for all Ohio students, sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admission, Counseling, and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you here. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. You'll find that at the bottom of your screen. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So that if you do need to get in contact with them, that Q&A button is the only way to do that. This is one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at oacac.org. And this presentation, as well as all of the other ones, will be available within about a week at that same website. Again, oacac.org. So we're going to go ahead and hand it over to our presenters, and I will turn off my webcam, and from then on, you'll be hearing from them.
Awesome. All right, let me see here. All right, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jack Worth. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions for the Art Academy of Cincinnati. I'm joined today by the Director of Enrollment and Marketing for the Art Academy, Amanda Parker-Woolery, as well as one of our awesome admissions counselors and international coordinator, Danielle Tejas. We'll be here today to help answer any questions that you have, but essentially what we have for you today is an in-depth video presentation that'll detail everything that you need to know about AAC. We'll talk about the first year experience. We'll talk about the many majors and minors that we offer here at the college. We'll talk about internship opportunities and get you thinking about what it looks like to have careers at the forefront of contemporary art and design. And so I'm not sure how familiar any of you who have joined us today are with the Art Academy, but in this past year, we celebrated our 150th year as a College of Art and Design. That's 150. It's a lot of years, that's a lot of history, but with all of that, we remain at the forefront of radical contemporary art and design and writing and many other majors that you're going to learn about today. So I have a video for you. This first video will teach you how to better understand what leaning into the first year experience is going to be like. We like to talk about the first year experience because some of you joining us today might be juniors or seniors thinking maybe like, what's it like to be a freshman again, you know? And talking about that first year experience is a way for us to transition you into thinking about what studying at college, at the college level looks like. So without further ado, we're gonna get into that and hopefully all audio is good. If not, we can do a quick troubleshoot.
At the Art Academy of Cincinnati, we are the new generation of boundary breakers and the imaginative radicals who are changing the face of art and design as we know it. The creative entrepreneurs who are redefining culture. Our first year curriculum is designed to prepare you for a future at the forefront of contemporary art and design. We know that 21st century art and design requires radical risk-taking, that collaboration is at the heart of innovation, and that the future is made by thinking, creating, and solving real-world problems in groundbreaking ways.
All right, so let's go ahead and start thinking about that first year experience. For some of you, you might be intimidated thinking about college, and my hope today is that you leave knowing that this doesn't have to be intimidating and that people like myself, Amanda, and Danny are here to help you better understand what this journey looks like. For starters, the Art Academy and many of our people who make our curriculum did some research that was put out by the World Economic Forum that was stating that in order to thrive and survive with a bachelor's degree of fine art or maybe an associate's of science in graphic design, you need 4 skills to survive, really, more than anything. And you can think of these skills as 4 C's. So that's communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. And so we took that and we thought about our first year students or incoming students and said, how can we reshape this curriculum so that our studio classes are taking the portfolio that students are applying with and right away exploring the topics that matter most. So the core classes that students take as studio courses in the first year are communication, digital literacy, discovery and voice, and ideation. So many of you might be exploring several college options out there. I recommend that. It's the best way to kind of understand who's doing what. But I always like to leave students with points of difference. So a huge point of difference at the Art Academy is that right away, students have the opportunity to take major specific courses. And that's not necessarily the case at some colleges of art and design. We want you to be able to get it going right away. Come in, start the magic, explore what studio classes are available for you so that you can decide what a major is, you know, when it's time and when it makes sense for you. Additionally, as you can see here, we do have students take a drawing elective, but if you've done some research on our college, you might know that we have a BFA or Bachelor's degree of Fine Art and things beyond the fine arts, right? So things like design and things like creative writing, and even our minor animation, which you're going to learn about here in a few. But the drawing courses essentially are flexible and cater to what it is that you make and what you hope to be making. So I've introduced you to the first year, and I've mentioned that students are achieving the Associates of Science and Graphic Design if interested, most popularly the Bachelor's degree of Fine Art. Additionally, we have a master's program, but we won't get too much into that today. But what we will get into next is the different majors and minors that we offer, which is what you're probably here to learn a lot about, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what those majors and minors are.
Our major fluid programs give you the freedom to experiment and explore across disciplines, and the power to customize your education so it fits your vision. And our minors include art history, film, video, audio, and animation. Within our flexible curriculum, all majors can also be minors. Photography, print media, illustration, design, sculpture, creative writing, drawing and painting.
All right, so as I kind of introduced and as you saw in that video, one point of difference here at the Art Academy of Cincinnati is that we're offering a transdisciplinary approach to the degrees that we're offering. That means that you have the opportunity to build a tool belt of skills for the type of work that you hope to be making. That means that if, say, you want to come in and study design, but you still want to take painting and drawing classes, you have the opportunity to do that. That also means that there's flexibility. So if you decide that you want to come in on a design track and just study design, we can set you up with that as well too. Okay? And so when thinking about your entire time of studying at the college as well too, one thing to know is that 2/3 of your education is studio-based, and the other third of that component is going to be liberal arts-based. So your studio classes are the classes where you're doing the hands-on making of things. It's where you're exploring, you know, contemporary topics in the different majors and minors that you just learned about. The liberal arts are going to be the academic courses that you take that help give you those tools of research and implementing reading and writing into your practice so that you can better ground the physical things and the digital things that you might be making. Okay? So that's a little bit about majors and minors. For those of you who have joined us today that are thinking about several colleges of art and design, one thing that I really encourage you to do is pay attention to the faculty that teach these courses and the faculty that teach in the majors that we offer. So that's what we're going to look at next. We're going to see some of our awesome full-time faculty, and I'll catch you at the end of this video as we transition into talking about our facilities.
In our active, hands-on classrooms, you'll work side by side with faculty who are not only your mentors, but your peers, collaborators, and greatest supporters. They will help you hone your skills in your discipline and challenge you to discover an artistic voice that reverberates far into the future.
So as you can see, our faculty are working professionals, working creatives, and something that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the presentation that I like to give students when talking about the first year experience is that these are the people that you're learning from right away. These are the people who have been doing it and the people who are in the industry who are going to help establish your connections as you maybe consider internships later on into your college experience, or maybe even studying abroad. So our faculty are awesome. And with that too, I want you to know that the faculty are your family. You know, we're here the whole time for you to help you understand what 4 years looks like so that when it's time to graduate, you're ready to be exploring and applying your degree to the real world. So let's transition into talking about the actual campus itself, being right here in the heart of downtown Cincinnati, Ohio, and over the Rhine. We'll go ahead and take a look at where we're located.
The Art Academy will become your second home, a place of your own where you can invent, experiment, and collaborate around the clock. And our spacious facilities will provide you with all the tools, technology, and support you need to expand your vision and transmit it to the world. Our studios are the beating heart of our creative community, the places where lasting friendships are formed. The meaningful relationships we make within our studios and classrooms don't stop here. They radiate outward.
All right, so that was just a quick glimpse into campus. But as you heard, our studios are the beating heart of campus and of the college. So beyond the actual studio classes where you're taking your courses, you also have access to your own student studio space. And that's a huge point of difference. So this is something that happens as early as your second year of study, but definitely guaranteed in your later years where you have access to your own space. And that's kind of like where the magic happens. That's where you have visiting artists, visiting designers, and your professors and your classmates helping review your work and critique your work so that it can become better throughout your entire time that you're studying. And so with that too, our facilities, most of our facilities, but definitely campus is open 24/7 to our students. So that's the opportunity to create when you need to create. And with that too, being an urban campus means that the city is your playground. The city is where you are accessing places like the Cincinnati Public Library, the Contemporary Art Center of Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Art Museum, or many of the branding firms and designing firms that are throughout the city. So with that, we're going to transition into looking a little bit more at Cincinnati and what our students are doing. And as that plays, you'll also get an intro into our student housing opportunities. And after that, I'll catch you and I'll talk a little bit more about dorms, and we'll transition into some fun stuff afterwards. So let's take a look at the city.
Forget dorm life. Our housing is urban loft living. Housing options are located just a block or two away from the campus, on streets lined with cafes, unique shops, and the best restaurants in Cincinnati.
Awesome. I love our brand new dorm. And so as you can see, our students are encouraged to be fully immersed in the city and fully immersed into the experience of knowing what's happening in the urban environment that campus takes up. So that's a little bit about facilities. That's a little bit about housing. We've talked about the first year experience. We've introduced you to some of our majors and minors. And now you might be thinking, well, what am I going to do with this? What are my career opportunities? And how can I apply this? And so this transitions me into talking to you about professional pathways. So you've learned a little bit about the different majors and minors we offer, but all the while too, students have the opportunity to take pathways. And these pathways, like the majors, are flexible opportunities for you to apply your degree to real world experiences. So an example of that is perhaps a student who's majoring in design would want to pursue our creative industry pathway so that they can get the understanding and experience of what it's like to work with real world clients as class experience. And with that too, we have an entire office of professional development and career services so that we're making sure that we are looking out for you from the moment that you're in the front doors and even from the moments that you're graduating and you become alumni and parts of the community beyond being a student. So the next video that I have for you is going to kind of transition into thinking about that. It'll talk to you briefly about internships, and then it will also transition into a video where you'll hear from an array of our alumni. So alumni who do all sorts of things, whether that's performance art or working for an art store or setting up your own business. We'll take a look at all of that and I'll catch you afterwards.
At the Art Academy, it is our mission to prepare you for a substantial and satisfying creative life beyond art and design school. Through internships at top area galleries, museums, and design firms, you'll learn what it takes to connect and collaborate with our city's most celebrated creative innovators. Our Plus B program will provide the professional development support you need to shape a career that fits your vision.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Medina. I graduated in the year of 2015.
Hi, my name is Glormar Garcia. I graduated from the Art Academy in 2014.
My name is Thomas Waxer. I graduated from the Art Academy 2018.
My name is Elise Johnson. I am a 2015 graduate of the Art Academy.
And I'm currently a content creator for Rheingeist Brewery.
I moved to New York City the summer after graduating from the Art Academy.
And I now co-run the Midwestern Press with Ryan Koslaw and Blake Lipper.
I'm currently a MFA student at Parsons in my second year.
I'm doing some freelance curating, such as this show, also doing some freelance archiving.
The idea of the bookstore and the publishing side is all a form of collaboration. Understanding that everything is in collaboration with the thing next to it or thing before it.
And that's what happens when we're here, is like constantly having to engage with each other and ideas.
What I learned at the Art Academy is to kind of think about, if I could make anything, what would that look like? So that's when I started getting interested in performance art, and that's what I'm still doing now.
I'm extremely thankful that I still, to this day, in some way, shape, or form, create work, and to have that feeling waking up where I can go to a workplace and apply what I learned is the best thing in the world.
Don't be afraid of making the things you want to see a reality.
Yeah.
But just understand that they take a lot of work.
It's just a place to connect and make friends and feel like you have a real community, which is a great space to have.
Don't stop doing what you're meant to do. Just keep on creating, and again, like, just don't stop.
All right. So you got a glimpse into the first year experience. You got a glimpse into our transdisciplinary approach towards majors and minors. You got to look a little bit about at OTR itself and also our facilities, as well as our student housing opportunities. And just then you heard from alumni and got some voice to learn about what kind of professional development opportunities are available for you, and especially what careers look like after you've graduated from the Art Academy of Cincinnati. But where does it all start? So for those of you that are interested in applying, our application is live now. You can find it on our website by going to artacademy.edu/apply, which we'll be sure to address at the end of this presentation. But let's talk about the steps themselves. So the first step is just that. For those of you that are senior students or transfer students, all you have to do is visit us to our website and apply. And then once you do that, that puts you in connection with an admissions counselor like myself, and it lets me know that I'm ready to work with you on the final two steps. So as you apply, you self-report your own GPA, and then eventually upon completion of graduating from high school or a GED program, we would acquire your final transcripts that list your final GPA and your final graduation date. And then let's talk about the biggest component. So a portfolio. For those of you that are on the call today who are maybe considering several colleges of art and design, and maybe you've already watched a couple of videos like this, you might be seeing that colleges want different things from a portfolio. And a portfolio might seem like something that's really intimidating, and it doesn't have to be. So for the Art Academy of Cincinnati, we want your portfolio to contain 8 to 10 original works of artwork, design, or creative writing, your best work. And something that we're doing these days as a new thing is we're offering portfolio workshops. So these are virtual opportunities for you to connect with us to understand how you can better build your portfolio. We have one coming up in November, and we can talk more about that later. But when thinking about the portfolio, you still might be saying, well, what do I need to consider? Don't worry, we've got a video prepared for you. It's a video of me, so I will awkwardly be watching myself on the video and also in the Zoom calls. So we're gonna transition into walking into that and watching that. And then afterwards, I will open things up for a question and answer. But first, let's listen to some portfolio advice. I'm Jack Worth, alumni of the Art Academy of Cincinnati and Associate Director of Admissions. Getting your portfolio reviewed might seem stressful, but it doesn't have to be. I'm gonna go over some tips that'll help you better assemble your portfolio. 1, school projects and schoolwork is great, but we love to see the work that you've made outside of the classroom. It shows us consistency and that you're dedicated. 2, experiment. We love risk takers. Unexpected is great and weird is good. 3, what's the concept? Think about the ideas behind your work and be prepared to talk about and unpack those ideas. 4, if you're doing your portfolio review in person, be sure to bring a sketchbook or however it is that you record your ideas. We'd love to see the process and where it all begins. 5, and most importantly, go with your best work, whatever medium that is. Variety is great, but don't force quantity over quality. The Art Academy of Cincinnati requires 8 to 10 works of art in order to complete your portfolio. You can submit your portfolio digitally as part of your online application, come to an open house portfolio review day, or schedule an in-person portfolio review with any of our admissions counselors at any time. Can't wait to see you soon. Peace. I'll stop it there on our mascot, the stinker, the skunk. If you have questions about the skunk, we'll address those offline. But beyond that, now that you've learned the gist of everything with the college, I want to give you the understanding too that as students are accepted, every single student receives an entrance award. And this entrance award is a scholarship that can range anywhere from $8,000 to $16,000. And it's a scholarship that stays with you for your 4 years of study, so long as you're maintaining a healthy GPA. And with that too, we are the only private college of art and design in the state of Ohio that's offering a tuition promise. And so that promise is saying that the cost of tuition for your first year of study is what you can expect to pay throughout your time as a student. So with that, that's all of the visuals that I have for you today, but I'd like to go ahead and open up question and answer. If Amanda and Danny have any questions that maybe are happening in the Q&A, or if anyone has...
We have one question that I have answered so far, so if anybody else has any other questions that you'd like to pop in the Q&A, and then Danny can read those and Jack can answer them, or we can privately send you answers as well. All right, you guys, if there's no additional questions, please feel free to reach out. If you go to www.artacademy.edu, you'll find our admissions page. And then once you get to our admissions page, our pictures are on there with our email addresses as well. So feel free to email us, or you can email our general admissions email at admissions@artacademy.edu. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
All right. Well, want to thank you all for joining us. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just, again, one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at oacac.org. In about a week, you will again be able to see this session's recording as well as all of the other ones at oacac.org. All right. Thank you all very much.